dropping your mind smoking weed, and then let's talk about dropping your mind without smoking weed. Let's talk about my friend, where you can understand the idea of dropping your mind smoking weed and the idea of dropping your mind without smoking weed. Now, my friend is going through a serious hard time. He probably might go through a divorce. He might divorce his wife, and they mutually know, but they're living together uh, and seeing it out. But they decided to part apart, right? He's going through a tough time, and the previous day he came and smoked weed, and he was telling about his previous experience of he coming and smoking weed, and it's at a rooftop where he actually smokes weed and looks into the sky, where the sky is kind of, the clouds are moving, right? And he's just floating. And when he smoked weed, he could drop his mind about all the things happening with his wife, all the troubles that is happening with his wife. He could drop that out, and he could ease that, and he could watch the clouds, and he could literally float and feel as though like he is part of nature, floating along with the clouds, right? Now that's dropping his mind with smoking weed. Now let's talk about the same person dropping his mind without smoking weed. And probably it happened for a moment or for a few seconds. Now the thing is, he gave me the weed and he was telling about his experience, right? Hey, I came yesterday, I sat here and I was watching the clouds, and it was so awesome. And in that moment I could see, because he smoked the previous day, the next day I was smoking, he was not smoking. And I could clearly see by explaining that scenario, he went back to previous day and he said like, hey, see, the clouds are moving. It was so awesome. Right now he was not smoking, but he could separate for a certain moment his mind, and he could go into the clouds because of his previous experience of smoking weed. Now the same person dropped his mind smoking weed. The same person dropped his mind without actually smoking weed the next day. Because the next day I was smoking, he was not smoking. Now, it's hard to drop your mind. It's hard to drop your mind because you have to practice that meditation technique. You have to practice letting go your thoughts to drop your mind and actually look into the nature as though you're looking just into the nature without any judgment, without any of your mind presence, without like putting your mind into it. You just stare at it. You are an energy, and then you just stare at it, right? And the same thing happened for him for a moment. And it's hard to understand it. It's hard to get it. But so the ability of dropping your mind is in every human being, but he just needs to get that out by practicing, So this we are making for people to understand. You can drop your mind with weed, you can drop your mind without weed. And the clear example is my friend, who could drop for a few moments while he was explaining his experience yesterday, because he laid down and he's like, it was so nice. I could drop everything, man. I could drop everything, all the sorrows. He's going through a hard time. His mind is like tick, 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 tick. But I'm not saying this per se that everyone should not smoke weed or everyone should smoke weed, or like I'm just saying my experiences. And also I want to say that, it's been a while since I smoked weed, and I wanted to see how it will feel like, and whether I'm making sense when I say once you meditate you don't smoke weed anymore. But I just smoked weed to see if I am saying right or wrong, or but it's the same thing. The substance is controlling me. There's no difference in it. There's no difference at all. And right now I can say, once you meditate, yes, you're going to quit smoking weed. But in my case, I did quit smoking weed, but it's just like I wanted to see if I make sense. And then I smoked again. It's the same thing. The substance is controlling me, man. So maybe the statement of once you meditate, quit smoking weed probably didn't work with me. But I would definitely say that once you meditate, your interest towards weed will be no more of significance. Okay? That's what I want to say. Maybe I'm going to take back my statement. Once you smoke weed, you're going to quit smoking weed. But once you meditate, once you have real consciousness, watching your mind, letting go of your thoughts, understanding what's happening within you, you're going to definitely have a lesser significance, a lesser attraction towards weed. That's for sure. Hopefully this video helped you. Hopefully this video helped you to understand dropping your mind, smoking weed, dropping your mind without smoking weed. Now the thing is, when you're going through horrible times and you don't know anything about meditation, it's okay to smoke weed and drop your mind. Now once you come out of that horrible time or the things that you're going through, once you're normal, once you're stable, once you're on your toes, once you're normal thinking, you don't have any rough things going in your life, when you're stable minded, then you try meditation and understand how to drop your mind. So what will happen is, when actually the rough times or when you go through hard situations, you can easily drop your mind. You don't need weed. So that's why I made this video, to understand that you can drop your mind smoking weed. You can also drop your mind without smoking weed. All right. Hopefully this video helped you. Thank you.